Thank you, Chandra Prakash ji. Our next speaker is Dr. Ved Sharma ji. Dr. Ved Sharma joined economics faculty at Minnesota State University, Mankato in 1976. His coincidence brought Swami Harharji Maharaj to Ved and Santosh Sharma's house in Mankato on June 7th, 1987. The first meeting with the 89-year-old saint cast a spell of enlightenment on Ved Sharma, and he became Swamiji's initiate for life. On his Guru's command, he accepted to serve as a president of the Geeta Ashram of the Minnesota. In the capacity, he worked with the committed devotee of Geeta Ashram who have worked selflessly for promoting Ashram's mission and have become his lifelong friends. It's my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Ved Sharma, please. You, yes. Please welcome Dr. Ved Sharma.
Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Chandra Prakash is always a hard act to follow. But before that, do I see Mrs. Cholera here, Satya Cholera? She is an impossible act to follow. So I thought I might as well quit. She covered quite a bit of the ground that I wanted to cover, and much better than I could have done. So I'll change my things here a little bit, and I hope that still makes sense. And I'd like to have your 15 minutes worth of silence, quiet attention from you. I don't see the top, and now there it is. There are 4 operative words in that title: karma, karma yoga, self-discovery, and modern times. Each one of them has some relevance here. Karma, which Satyaji did not cover that much. That is the low level, on the ground things. She went to the lofty ideas up there. So I'll stay around at the bottom. And so I'll talk about that a little bit. Karma yoga, no, let it stay there. I'll ask you to change it, man. Okay, just go back. Yes, okay. So I will talk a little bit about karma yoga, not in any great detail, but then I will just come to whatever Sri Krishna has to say about karma yoga as such. It turns to me, maybe I'm not quite correct about that. Lord Krishna said there are 3 ways for the upliftment of the human beings. The 3 paths: the Jnana yoga, karma yoga, and bhakti yoga. And he also says in Bhagavad, there is no other way. He just cuts things right there. There's no other way. Although when we come to Bhagavad Gita, every chapter is given the name of a yoga. And not only that, Bhagavad Gita, at the end of every chapter, Maharishi Vyasji probably has said that Bhagavad Gita is about Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. We don't emphasize those 2 words very much. Not only that, I don't hear much about karma yoga, the description, the analysis, what Satyaji said just now. I think that is one of the best ones that I have heard in quite some time. But generally, I don't hear about it. Although in the modern, so-called modern times, that may be the most relevant. You know what the modern times are. Okay, I'll come to karma yoga a little bit later on. The Modern times, these times, these are the modern times. We are all hurried. There is not much time to do anything in particular. So there is a stress. We have to go reach the office at 8 o'clock. 5 o'clock, we could come out, but the boss is still sitting there. So we say, well, let the boss go and I might get out at 7. No time there. The lawn still needs to be mowed. Okay, the children's, did they get admission into the school they wanted? Not yet. So that is a worry. So there are all kind of things. So if you wanted to, let's say, oh, let me have some peace of mind, do some prayers, some puja, go to Geeta ashram every Sunday at least. No time for that. Those are the modern times. Okay, and then the Gyan Yoga, people have, Gyan Yoga means you don't have the Gyan, there is ignorance. So if we had the Gyan, then naturally we would say, oh, Sat Chit Anand. Then we could sing, what is that? Chidanand Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. But we cannot do that. We hear about that. Yes, I know that. I can memorize that. But it doesn't, I'm not that. I'm not that, I'm worried about this, and this. So until, they say the focus, meditate every day, long hours, and then you may or may not get there still. So not a practical thing in the modern times. We still have to do, 16 hours work or 17 or 18 hours. We don't have the time to do that. Okay, and so Bhakti Yoga, again, the same thing. Who has the time to, in any case, then we have to get up from there and run around, and Bhakti is forgotten. So that's where the Karma Yoga comes. But again, as I said, we don't have a lot of discussion on that. Okay. Then there is the term path is simply referring to the Karma Yoga and self-discovery. I think that is probably, if I could contend that one goal of Bhagavad Gita is how to tell people how to discover themselves. We are not lost. We are sitting here right here in the Geeta ashram at this time, but in a way we are lost. If they say, who are you? My name is this. Or student in the university, I say, who are you? Oh, I teach in the economics department. My son knocked at the door and he asked, who are you? I'm your dad. So I'm everything, but not what I really am. Bhagavad Gita tells us who we really are, and if we honestly get there to know who we really are, then most of the problems that we talk about, they will not be there anymore. They will not be there. Once you are Sat Chit and Anand, you are one with the ultimate reality. Those problems disappear. Okay, so what do we do about it? Lord Krishna, of course, has talked about the Karma Yoga, and I will come to that a little bit, but not in any great detail because that was covered a whole lot better a little bit earlier. But let me come to the simple, on the ground, those kind of things. We talk about karma. Many a time people confuse karma with Karma Yoga. They are very different things. They may be the same, but usually they are very, very different things. So what is karma? Karma is simply about actions, acts. We act every day, make decisions, make choices, and those are about karmas. To be karmas, of course, they have to be done deliberately, knowingly, willfully. If otherwise they will not count as karmas against us. So that's what the karma is. Not a whole lot to say there. There's the law of karma. Mrs. Satya Kalra, she covered that a little bit, the law of karma. Whatever we do, those actions have consequences. Okay, but we can act, but we do not control the consequences as such. But the consequences are going to be there. Sooner, later, now, this lifetime, next time, the consequences are going to be there. So that is the law of karma. All the dharmic religions that have roots in India, whether it's Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism, they all believe in the doctrine of karma as such. So there is nothing much unusual about it. Okay, then we say we act. Do we have the freedom to act? Do we have free will? Many a time we say, oh, it is all God's will. Something happens, it's all God's will. Not a leaf stirs without God willing it that way. Is that the case? This can be a very nuanced, complicated discussion. And so we will not come to that discussion. For the time being, I will simply say, yes, that we do have freedom to act. We do have free will. We have on the authority of Lord Krishna himself, when in verse number 20, chapter 2, 40, where is it? Yeah, where he says, Karmani ev adhikaraste. Karmani ev adhikarate. You have the right to perform actions. So that is an endorsement of this view that there is a free will. Similarly, toward the end of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 63 of chapter 18, Lord Krishna has given Arjuna all the knowledge, all the instructions. And then he also says, Yatha ichasi tatha kuru. Jaise ichha ho, vaise karo. Jo teri marzi hai, wo karo. What else is more endorsement we need for free will? So Lord Krishna is telling us, yes, you are free to act. So that the free will, we will, again, even in our own traditions, many people say, no. We can go back that, oh, we have our past karmas, they created the sanskars in us. Our thoughts are determined by the sanskars, and our thoughts determine our actions, and therefore everything is predetermined. Okay, so let me go a little bit faster here. Another thing, only humans can act. So karma, isliye our life is called the karma yoni. The animals, other life forms, they of course they are acting, but they are merely exhausting their past karmas. They are not doing any new acts as such. So there is that karma yoni and bhog yoni. So they are in the process of finishing up their past karmas if they could. So karmas sometimes are classified. There are the sanchit, accumulated, our bundle of karmas accumulated over past lifetimes. They are our total big bank balance. Then as we come into this world, we are assigned some of that which we have to go through, pleasant, unpleasant, and those are our prarabdha karma. When we say, ye meri prarabdha thi, so this is what it is the result of those actions. And then of course we act in this life, kriyamam, the current act. And our current acts may add to the total bundle. It may take away from the total bundle. So that is how it goes. So it goes on like this. We act according to our rag and dvesh, attractions and repulsions. Action, the rag and dvesh, they lead to kama, mean desires on our part, and we act to fulfill those desires. So we go on doing it and we think this is what will make us happy. So then we do the karmas and we get the consequences. Do they make us happy? A little bit they do. Every time our promotion, our child gets into a good school, we are happy. Something else, new child comes into the family, we are happy. But those are transitory, very, very transitional. They don't last long. And ultimately, after a day or two or three or four, we are back to square one again. And so this goes on, no escape out of it. But there is the Lord Krishna comes into the picture, and Lord Krishna says there is a way out, and the way out is the Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is, what is the Karma Yoga? That you perform the actions, but without wanting any result from that. It's as simple as that. Just you may be doing the same thing, the same thing, but you are no longer doing it for yourself. You are doing it for a yajna. Consider whether it's a company project or you're developing a new drug or you're developing a new engine, you are doing something else. That is the yajna that is being performed, and all your actions are an ahuti into that yajna. Where do you get things from? Lord Krishna has developed a very interesting sort of mythology there, that you work with the devatas and devatas will be pleased with you, and then they will get back. So whatever they give, you will get whatever you are, because actions have consequences, but don't desire them. So you just work with the doubt. Okay, so this is what Lord Krishna is saying. And so then after that, what happens? Lord Krishna starts to explain it. Most of the Karma Yoga is explained in, not most of it, I should say, about 15 verses in chapter number 2 itself, chapter 3, all of it, chapter 4 substantially, chapter 5 substantially. And I want the pleasure of just half a minute, maybe, if you can go to the last slide. Last. Just go to the bottom, last, but yeah. No, we are still not in the last. And the reason, let me tell you the reason. I already saw verse 54 of chapter 18 on the slide here 2 times. Second time was Satya Kalra gave us. And that is a very fascinating thing. You can imagine that if we become, the whole purpose of Jnana Yoga is that we become one with Brahma. And Lord Krishna says, when you do Karma Yoga, you automatically get the Jnana. Knowledge you get. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to meditate for it. You get it. And once you get it, then what happens? You become Brahma. Brahma Bhuta. If literal meaning is you have become Brahma, or you can say you are, the English translation, attained the Brahma realization, if you do not want to go that far. So then after that, you are Prasannatma, na shochati, you have no grief. Something is lost, do not worry about it. And na kankshati, you not desire anything. Samay sarveshu bhuteshu, you are the same among all beings. Once you are there, you become Brahma. Then Lord Krishna is saying, Bhakti labhate param. Then you find my real devotion. Not before that. Before that, we do not know who we are. So we say, yeah, my bhakti to you, my bhakti, and then we run away. Once we are there, now we know who we are, and now we get that param bhakti. So Lord Krishna is not separating these 3 yogas in verse 54 of chapter 18, 55, 56, 57. He completely removes the boundaries between them. No boundaries. It's the same sadhana. The sadhana is you find yourself, and then you become one with God. And the real happiness there comes when you find his bhakti. That is the ultimately, even the aham brahmasmi, when you have become Brahma, you come back to bhakti again. So this is it's a wonderful thing as you read Bhagavad Gita. It's a pleasure to read it at the intellectual level, and then of course at the practical level also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhai Saab. Thank you so very, very much. So kind of you to share this profound thoughts and that we have gone through on this whole subject of Karma Yoga and destiny and all that good stuff. It took a lot of effort to do that, very practically done, very well shared. The path to self-discovery, as he called it. And it's a very important thing, as we've been talking, the theme of the conference, verse 53 and 54.